Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on key components of managed service providers. My name is Madison, and I'm the Media and Communications Executive here at the Business Software Center, and you're tuning into our Coffee Talk webinar series. If you need to get in contact with me, please use the hashtag CoffeeTalkTBSC or email me info@businesssoftwarecenter.com. Okay, so in today's session, we're talking about MSPs. And so the first question I have for you is, do you know where you stand with Microsoft 365? A lot of customers who purchase Microsoft 365 licenses or subscriptions tend to kind of forget to track and monitor their licenses, whether that's an EA or a CSP model. So typically, what we advise is if you do purchase these licenses, you should try to keep track of them just so you know your compliance, whether you're under licensed or over licensed, which means do you have enough licenses for the amount of employees using the current licenses, or with compliance, are you over installed on any subscriptions? Typically, Microsoft allows only up to 5 installs, but you'd be surprised at how many companies we find over-installed on retired devices, etc. Do you know where you stand with your usage or your deployment? Do you know where you stand with your optimization? And do you know where you stand with your goals? What are the company goals with finances, return on investment, IT spend? You can really set goals and then track and monitor your Microsoft 365 to meet those expectations, whether that's with financials, compliance, licensing, etc. So you'd be surprised to know that most businesses don't track and monitor their Microsoft 365. I mean, I can definitely understand that. IT departments nowadays are extremely busy, and now with remote work, they have a lot of other things going on. So tracking and monitoring licenses might be something that falls to the side, just because sometimes it's a manual process. And as I mentioned earlier, it really depends on what licensing model you have. An EA typically is a model that is like a 3-year contract, whereas a CSP is typically something that goes month to month, where you can change your subscribers each month. But yes, a lot of businesses don't track and monitor. We found in our research 89% do not track their licenses, and at least 45% don't even use Teams, which is automatically included with the licensing subscriptions. So right there, you can see these figures on the screen that it's unfortunate that these businesses aren't using Teams because it is already included with the subscription. So it's like you're not using what you're paying for. And also, sometimes when you get these licenses, you might be paying for add-on services, and perhaps you're not tracking those either, or how it really can help with your business growth. So to help you track your subscriptions, that's where MSPs come in. And so MSP stands for Managed Service Provider, and essentially what they do is they help manage your Microsoft 365 application subscription services for you. So basically what they do is they automate the task, they tell you where you need help, and they kind of set you up for a plan for success. I'm going to go on that in a bit more detail, but yes, MSP means Managed Service Provider. So a good MSP will help you analyze results and benchmark key issues and opportunities. And so what an MSP can do, for instance, is use our Smarter SaaS product, and what they can do is find different opportunities and then benchmark exactly where you're at today, and then help create projection plans, prioritize actions, and set goals on how to become better efficient, better optimized in the future. And then, of course, you can plan and schedule meetings with your MSPs to see whether you're on track, and they can always analyze these results because it's in real time, so they always have complete access to these automatic results. So what exactly is the benefit to having a managed service provider? As I mentioned earlier, with the score issues, 45% of companies we found don't use Teams, and so their efficiency score would probably be pretty low, probably in the orange or red area. That's around a 50% efficiency score, meaning they're not using what they're paying for. They're not using all the applications in their subscription. And so what an MSP does, or even what our product Smarter SaaS helps do, is benchmark where exactly you were at. So we would give you a check mark on where your efficiency score is, and then offer ways on how to improve your efficiency score and help you get there. And we hope to get you at least 95% efficient, so up there in the green. So some benefits of having an MSP are, nowadays this is agentless software. We don't have to be there with you. It doesn't have to be on premise. We can do this all from the cloud. It is a pay-as-you-go service because it is a SaaS subscription. So pay-as-you-go. We offer the free health check for you in partnership with our managed service providers and Smarter SaaS. And so that free health check includes analyzing everything on your usage, and then providing these key features and automatic reporting, which you can see listed here. We provide a complete license overview, the subscription optimization opportunities, automatic downgrade calculation, subscription reharvesting. And so hopefully we help get you to 95% efficiency, and then we want you to have the outcome of having a complete license overview. So finally understanding your Microsoft usage in an easy and efficient way. We want you to be optimized, and we also want you to have a return on investment. Actually use the products that you're paying for. So moving forward, I'm just going to explain a bit about what reharvesting is. So with our Smarter SaaS or with one of our partner managed service providers, we offer this ability to reharvest software. And so basically that means subscriptions that have not been used that could be reallocated to different employees or completely canceled in order to help cost control. And so this process aids with security and cost control by ensuring people who leave the business no longer have access to IT systems. You'd be surprised at how many businesses we come to find they haven't had employees working with them for over a year, and they haven't done anything with their Microsoft licenses. When you think about it, you're paying for a license that somebody is simply not using, but this is also a security issue because your employee, even though they no longer work with you, still have access to all the company information. So managed service providers also help with your optimization. This is done also with the automation of our Smarter SaaS product, track and monitoring. And so we can figure out where the waste is and address this issue by helping users use to their full capacities. And this could be done a few different ways. One, we could downgrade the license subscription. So say, for instance, you're on E3, you have all these apps included in that subscription model, and you don't really need all those applications. You found with your usage, you're okay with transferring to an E1 license. Not a problem. We can help you with that. But another way of increasing your return on investment is offering an educational platform, which we call Bigger Brains, and it's our e-learning platform that is embedded into Microsoft Teams, so you can send the e-learning to any employees that you think need help with anything Microsoft 365. And that once they learn how to use the product, once they even know what applications come with that, you can get them trained fully, and then they'll begin using everything included in the 365 subscription. Managed service providers also offer surplus analysis, and so surplus are subscriptions which are being paid for but haven't been provisioned to other users. So basically what you're going to do if you get this information is you'll get certain questions from the MSP, like, do you have plans for the surplus amount? Say you have 10 that aren't assigned to any employees. What exactly are you doing with these licenses? Are you holding on to them for a particular reason, or can we let them go so you're not paying for them each month? So our advice here at the Business Software Center is, if you're not managing your Microsoft 365 licenses and you're already purchasing your subscriptions through a cloud service provider or a managed service provider, it's really time to get on board with managing your licenses. One of the things I didn't necessarily focus on in this talk is compliance, but that's another big issue that we see with management, is that companies do not track their licenses. Subsequently, a lot of them aren't in compliance, and that can cause additional fees that you have to pay to Microsoft. And honestly, this could all be avoided through automation with our Smarter SaaS tool. And so we have a guide. So if you need to learn more about what you need to look for in a managed service provider, we have a guide on the total cost of ownership for Microsoft, as well as optimization of managed services, and that is on businesssoftwarecenter.com. And I highly recommend just downloading it. It's completely free to access that. I did mention earlier about Smarter SaaS, and so we did review kind of what Smarter SaaS can do. And if you're interested today, we do have a free health check for you. And what we can do is benchmark exactly where you're at. We look over the past 180 days of usage, and we pull all this data from the Azure portal, and it will give you everything to get you started with managing your subscriptions. It also only takes about 10 minutes to set up. So we really hope that you consider getting a managed service provider or even taking this health check today, because this will really benefit you in the long run, get you at least to 95% efficiency. So let me just go ahead and go back to my Teams live event here. I don't see any questions coming in, so that's all right. I'm going to just spend the last few minutes talking about our new podcast series. Here at the Business Software Center, we've been doing webinars for about 2 years now, and we've just recently started our podcast series. And so our podcast is Smarter Cloud Talk, and you can find us on Spotify. These talks are usually about 10 to 15 minutes in length, same as the webinar. So you might be seeing content blended here and there. We might post some of the podcasts on our YouTube channel, and we might post some of our coffee talk webinars on our podcast, really depending on the information that we do and we think would be beneficial to sharing on those platforms. So we hope to see you or hear you at our podcast, #Smarter Cloud Talk. And thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you later at our next webinar. Take care. Bye-bye.